What's up, good people? I'm your host, Barry Bonds. I got my co-host with me, Game Beats and Pappy Black, and this is the Smoke Talk Podcast. What's good, fellas?
Shannon, what's
What's good?
happening?
What's happening?
What's going
We
on?
at it again. We at it again, baby.
Yeah. We back. Good.
Definitely.
What's up, the viewers? What's up, y'all? All y'all that tune in on the Reggie. What's good with y'all?
Hey
Great
yo,
to see you. Welcome back.
let's skip the pleasantries and get right back to this nigga caught that girl in his caught that dude in his bed, man.
Yo,
Let's skip all the pleasantries and get right down to my man. He walked in, he caught his girl on camera at work. He comes home, they still there. They in the act. He walk in the room, my man get up. And it's a conversation like my man was supposed to go. Am I correct, fellas?
yeah. When he gave him a pass by not tearing him up on sight, he's supposed to go ahead and walk out that door. You don't. He was literally walking behind or beside old girl. So as old girl is getting pushed out of the place and he being told to go, he's still slew footing down the steps. Killed me. I'm like, yo, he should have got hauled off on because now you was an intruder from the rip.
Well, not necessarily an intruder. He was
Well,
invited
he was
in.
invited in. He was invited in, but to you, not knowing this person, it would be, for the owner of the home, it's intrusion. And if the woman invited him in, for one, he should have just got his ass whooped by not accepting the invitation to leave as quick as he accepted the
Right.
invitation to come.
Oh, only for that though. He should have
Yeah.
only caught the fade for not leaving expeditiously.
Word.
Like
Yeah.
the man came in, you caught, he let you slide out his bed. he let you put your
Word.
clothes, he let you put your clothes on and everything. Like he could have been a real dirty nigga about it. I don't know if B want to talk about his situation like that, but it ain't go like that for B. I mean, it wasn't no fight or nothing, but the nigga wasn't as gracious.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like nigga let him put his clothes on, bro. You supposed to slide.
Well, look, in his defense, and he might not have one really, but he had the camera out. So,
Even more reason to haul ass.
well, yeah, because the camera could tell two things should you get in trouble. One, the camera could show that you were confronting somebody who was not supposed to be in your home.
You
But they
can't
would have
say he wasn't
argued.
supposed to be in there.
No, I'm
She
about to say. I'm
he
about to tell you that part.
yeah.
They argue. It's arguable because he was invited in by someone else, and he did say he did not know.
It's
Two.
not arguable. She occupied that space too. Like, yes,
Okay.
he might be the home owner, but she is a tenant. You understand what I'm saying? So if she
Well,
let him in, he's not an intruder.
all right.
He
Well, all
don't
that's
want
what.
him there. He's being asked to leave. He's supposed
Right.
to
Absolutely.
leave
But
expeditiously.
two. but two. He had an opportunity to go, and he still was, pussyfooting around the house. But the guy with the video, having the video on him, and had he have done something to the guy, he wouldn't have. He would have lost in the argument in court. In my opinion.
So,
He didn't pose harm to him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When you inflict the harm,
well,
and they could. You don't want video footage of you committing the act of assault
The
when
camera was the gift and the curse.
that's what. Yeah, exactly. That's basically what I'm saying. Uh, him having
all
the
right,
camera on
and
is the
so,
reason why he ain't do him in.
and I'm gonna say this. All right, when I come home, well, not me, of course, but when a motherfucker come home and he in that situation with somebody in his house, yes, all right, you might not be an intruder or you might not be trespassing at that point, but the invitation to be there can be thrown out immediately. He immediately told him, "Get the fuck out my house." You understand what I'm saying? So
Well, the
if
camera
he
told the
don't,
tale.
so when he don't leave immediately after being asked to leave multiple times, he's trespassing at that point.
I agree.
You understand what I'm saying? Now he's trespassing. Your invitation has been revoked. Go.
But if you assault this guy, right, and he dies, you have camera footage of you committing the act of murder.
It's not murder when
they're not gonna argue. They're not gonna argue in court that you did what you did because of the intrusion. They're gonna argue the fact that you murdered someone. And then,
in order for it to be murder, it would have to be illegal. If you are trespassing on my property, I only have to tell you to leave. Once I tell you to leave and you don't leave, you're trespassing. So now I have the right to defend my home.
Trespassing? That
I don't know what state they was in.
That's another thing. Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Say that again, B.
Trespassing that she invited him in?
Nah, Game was saying that her invitation.
When he came in the house and caught them in there, he wasn't trespassing. He was invited in. But the minute
that's why he didn't get his ass whooped.
But the minute he was told to leave, his invitation had been revoked.
Right, but then how long does he have to leave? That's what I was asking.
I would put it. He's supposed to leave expeditiously. He's supposed to. All right, I'll put it to you like this: if you in the 7-Eleven, right, and the cashier tell you, "Look, we're not serving you. We want you to get out." Once they tell you that, every second that you're there after that, you're trespassing. Now, when the police get there, if they get there, the police can say, "Look, they asked you multiple times to leave. You're under arrest." Or they can show discretion and be like, "Look, man, just go and don't come back." That's at the discretion of the officer. But you in your home, it's at your discretion. You can say leave once, or you can say leave 10 times. You said leave, and the motherfucker's still there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a motherfucker gotta go. I think the nigga should have caught the fade just because he ain't leave when he could have. He stayed around and waited for the bum bitch.
That's what my problem is with this situation. He fitted more important for people to see the situation versus attending to the situation.
The cameraman?
Yeah, because if he didn't do the camera thing, it would have been a different thing. But because you wanted everybody to see
the guy with the flamethrower.
Yeah, you see chase old buddy down the street with that hot stick.
No, I ain't see that. I seen Rick Ross fucking with this flamethrower. I ain't see no nigga chasing nobody with no flamethrower.
Yo, them about to be out here, I think. Yo, and then after dude didn't outrun him. He just didn't catch him. He decided to stop after he spit like maybe 3 or 4 of them at him, and then he went back to the girl and he started to grab her hand and pull her back to wherever the hell they was supposed
to be. Oh, the flamethrower shit was over a chick?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be? That's the time you get 95% of the time you get a motherfucker spit fire.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I ain't see that one. Y'all put me up on that one. But yeah, man, bro's supposed to leave. I think he should have caught the fade.
Yeah, because he should have left.
Yeah,
he already told old buddy, like, look, bro, I ain't know. He was like, bro was like, yeah, you knew. He's like, you knew. Yeah, you know what I mean? Usually a nigga know.
The girl said he knew.
Oh yeah, because he said, yeah, she said you knew. Plus,
the girl said
she was knew. Like, oh, he was like, why you ain't say nothing about this and that? She was like, nigga, you should have looked around. Terrible, ain't it?
Word. Cause you know why? Cause she was trying to be on her boyfriend's side, like against the nigga. He like, man, you gotta go too. She was trying to be able to stay. That bitch said, where I'm supposed to go? That nigga said, with him, motherfucker.
Oh, word, that way.
Yeah. Anywhere out there. Go there. Word up. That was some bullshit. Y'all say Philly get their ass whooped by 48 points last night?
Nah, I was out of it, but I heard, the sports center chime hit, and I went and checked it. I'm like, shit. And then you got to go back and revisit some of the hot takes they had of it, man. That shit was awful.
the fucking Celtics beat them niggas by 48 points. That's crazy.
And when you're off, man. Them niggas was off.
I only thought about that because we were thinking about, oh boy, I was thinking about ass whoopings. And that was an ass whooping. Word up. But yeah, motherfuckers don't get to just linger around your property after you tell them to go. They got to go.
Yeah, well, he let him do it. That's why he did it. Because if he really wanted him out that door.
Right. He was trying so hard not to do no sucker shit that he didn't take the opportunity to do what he could have done because
he could have messed around and killed that man.
That's usually what the outcome is.
Over what? Over her?
Well,
no, I ain't gonna say over her. Go ahead.
My man didn't violate. My man wasn't disrespectful.
He violated when he didn't leave when
right,
asked.
You got to use your brain at the end of the day too. Like Fu said, number one, he on camera. Got to use your brain at the end of the day. He ain't violate. It wasn't like he was popping it. He definitely was not popping
it. Depending on the state you in.
Yeah, that's the
him not leaving is enough.
That's
enough. That's enough to catch the body.
Alters it because you don't know her status.
Yeah, I don't think he really gave a fuck about her because it would have been on site.
You know what I mean? Like, what if he married to her? She has as much right as the house as him.
Right? Yeah, we didn't get a report on, the status of their relationship and
like
in
the South, yeah. If it was just him, that's like you said, that's straight up trespass, like you said.
But once his invitation was revoked, he got to go, bro.
Yeah, he left.
He got to go. He left in his own time, though.
Yeah, but my man ain't enforced no time. He ain't give him a
get the fuck out.
2 minutes to get out my house.
He said, "Get the fuck out."
He didn't give him you know what I mean? He didn't give him that. He
didn't give him a time frame, but he told him to get the fuck out. That means go. That means go. And he told him multiple times, like, bro, why are you here? Go.
But see, that's where he fell at right there by doing that. But we don't know where he was at or whatever.
Yeah, you know what? Everybody's situation is different. Some people wouldn't have gave it an opportunity at all for him to leave. He would have they'd have sent him to Jesus and them. But
I'm not doing that. Nothing. As long as he ain't disrespectful to me, I'm not doing that to no nigga that the bitch done brought this nigga up in the house. It's not his fault.
No, you're right about
even
that.
Even if he knew, that's his fault, right? She said he knew, right? He said he did. So you could play that either way, but
I ain't even convicted.
I'm covering all aspects. I'm not going to jail because this bitch cheated on me, man. Fuck her.
No, I feel you on that.
Yeah, you ain't
supposed to. I'm not losing my cool behind no motherfucking hoe, man.
I don't think he should have did nothing.
Hoes will literally, the devil. Like, they will go from nigga to nigga. While you sitting in this goddamn prison cell, they will be going from nigga to nigga to nigga, telling the story about how your dumb ass behind the cell over her, you done pushed this nigga.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Because he ain't moved 2 minutes faster than he wanted to. As long as he ain't disrespect, you know the truth. A lot of niggas wouldn't even let him get that far. It'd have been a fight.
Nah.
He'd have been dead in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is this, though. I don't think nothing should have happened to him over the chick. The only thing I got a problem with is not leaving as fast as you can.
I'm not giving that
go ahead, man.
I like what he did. He told her to leave.
Oh yeah, the door hit her in the ass.
Yeah, it killed me how they take the covers with them. What you covering up for? We know what you guys did.
She fell down.
Naked ass outside.
She fell down the stairs tripping over that cover.
Because if that's
the case, took his cover.
My man, he said this. If it's legal, he said this came in cutting, and I ain't gonna hit him, but I'm gonna get him up out of here.
But the way it depends on the way you feel about who. If it's somebody that you just can't stand to see them do that, let alone in your own home, you would have jumped smooth on whoever.
Right.
I don't think.
That's what I said. But if he wanted to get out, like Game said,
Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with that neither, though, fool. Because even if it's somebody that you feel like you can see them in that situation, you see it now. Now you don't go to jail or lose your life over this, over what she did.
What I'm saying.
Go ahead.
It's gonna be like a black screen. I ain't gonna find out what happened to the end until somebody tell me.
The only difference in that situation right there, you saying, is this brother wasn't sideswiped. I mean, he wasn't just hit in the face with that shit. He saw the footage of her going in the house with the nigga from work. So he had time to think about what he was going to do when he got home. Well, so it ain't like he got blindsided by that shit. Blindsided, maybe he reacts different. You know what I'm saying? But he had time to think about what he was going to do from work to home.
I didn't see that part of the video, but I was only saying that to explain the fact that the situations could be different based on, I don't think that
how you feel about the woman?
Yeah, because I'm like, all right, cool. He probably just had his girlfriend or something staying with her, and he But I'm glad he did think. I'm glad he did think it through or whatever.
Yeah, he didn't get blindsided. He knew the nigga was in his house, bro, because he saw the cameras from work. He knew that's why he came home. He already knew what was going on.
But hold on, let me ask you this, because I ain't see the beginning of that part. So how she ain't know he had cameras? Because if she didn't know he had cameras, then she ain't who we think she is, and that's why it was so easy for him to boot the chick. I'm just asking a different thing. I'm not nothing on topic.
I'm not sure of how much of. I'm not sure if she was aware of the cameras or not. But
if you go back and watch the footage, he says, "I work hard for her. I take care of her." You know, it sounds like that's his wife. I don't mean
if it ain't his wife, it was close to it. So
yeah, that's what I mean. I don't mean he might not have been legally.
Yeah, that was his girl. So what she did was a straight up violation. Now, I don't think the other dude, should have paid any penalty for what he was doing with her, because she made that decision. But bro, go. You know what I mean? Because the more you stay here, the longer you stay here, the more you escalate in this situation, bro.
Right, I can deal with her, but you leave.
I'll let you get
Just walk
dressed,
down the
bro.
stairs and go out the door. Word.
I'll let you get dressed. Go ahead, my G. Go. You ain't commit no crime for taking no ass from her. She gave you that. You ain't steal that.
I'm with you.
Now I'm telling you to get the fuck out my house, bro. And I'm not gonna keep asking you to leave my motherfucking house. That's gonna be a problem. So in my opinion,
did anybody see any comments or anything like that where somebody considered
hey,
what
bro,
he did was sucker?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know if that shit was actually real. That could have been some stage shit. The only thing that got me thinking that, because when I looked at it again, they had shit on under the cover. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't bucket naked up under there.
Oh, we're gonna revisit this motherfucker then. I'm gonna go do some more research, but I don't want to talk about that shit now since you put it that way. Cause
no, I'm saying, but no, whether it's real or not, the situation don't change. Like if it was real, my man showed a lot of grace. He was very gracious with my man. He was very gracious.
What y'all think about the new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Dope.
2 thumbs up.
The new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Dope. Hey yo, AB, they letting out 3 at a time, or they just let out 3 at one time?
I don't know.
Because I know they come out on Thursday, but I think that first pack was a 3-pack.
Yeah, because it aired that week, right?
I think it came on it started that Thursday, but they let out a 3-pack. So I'm wondering if they going to drop the next 3 on this Thursday, or they going to start doing them one at a time. I'm not sure. But back to your question though, the show, I fucks with it. I like it.
It got great reviews, and then they got the people from the original watchers who
They expected it to be in West Philadelphia, born and raised. They expected that, right?
yeah. But I say to
How could you
myself,
not?
I
How
said to
could you
one,
not?
why would he do that when there's already a Fresh Prince?
Right. They did that already. This is the second coming. And
The suspense is awesome.
I actually appreciate the way they updated it, the way they updated Uncle Phil. You know what I mean? You get like before that shit was really based on Will. This time it's based on like you get to see everybody's shit. You get to see Carlton shit. You get to see Uncle Phil shit. You get to see Hillary shit. They ain't really
I
get
like what
into
they did with
Ashley shit
Hillary.
yet. Yeah, they ain't really get into Ashley shit yet. I'm glad that it's a bunch of dark skin on that motherfucker. Talk to me. That shit is black excellence at its finest, man. That's fucking Wakanda and Zamunda all mixed together.
Yeah, a lot of things change. A lot of things change. But I love the story. I love the storyline so far, and I definitely like the way that they twisted. So they didn't make Hillary seem like some type of a
A
Kelly Bundy or
dumbass.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
you know what I'm
dumbass.
saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, nah,
About the Super Bowl.
mm.
it happened the way I said it would.
Hey, look, all right. So even though I wanted to see the underdogs win.
Wait, both of
Joe
y'all picked the
Burrow,
Bengals, right?
yeah, yeah. You get
Yeah.
that little couple of old.
Yeah. It came through. I appreciate it.
But
Yeah.
I definitely like the fact that it wasn't a beatdown. You know, the last thing you want to see, the last game of the season is a beatdown. But you know, the Rams is playing, man. They play real good. Cooper Kupp is on this thing.
And
But I like, yeah, Aaron Donald, yeah, man.
Aaron Donald made the play of the game, man. On fourth down.
Look, you see, they got fitted for their rings. They got to wait a
Yeah.
whole year to get them Johns.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, you already won, got the title, you know.
You think it was a good game, B?
Yeah.
I thought the Rams was going to win by at least 10, but I'm glad it turned out to be a good game. It wasn't like no blowout. It started out looking like he was going to get away, and then since he came back,
halftime show.
nigga, that was the best part of the game.
Yeah. Oh, somebody did bring up something about. I saw it on social media. He said everybody that was a part of the halftime show sampled a song from the Isley Brothers.
Yeah, they all did, and all of them was on Power except for Dr. Dre.
Well, he probably was, you know,
Dre
somewhere.
Dre don't move for nothing, man. That nigga move when he feel like it. But yeah, everybody did sample the Isley Brothers. But yeah, that was the highlight of the show, man. I mean, of the game, bro. Halftime show, man.
Funny.
They was talking about Eminem kneeling, man.
Mm-hmm.
They told him not to kneel, and he was like, "Oh,
right."
okay."
They told him he couldn't kneel. He still did it.
And he was like, "Oh, so you mean go ahead? I go ahead and kneel?" Like he's like, "Hey, fuck, what you talking about?"
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, that was good shit.
That was for the culture. People outside the culture said it was trash.
Yeah, it was a lot of motherfuckers hating, but shit. Welcome to the party. We've been going through that shit for all 55 Super Bowl, all however many Super Bowls halftimes it was. How many of them? Even when Beyonce did it, it wasn't Beyonce. She came out on Linkin Park shit.
There was a talk of some people in the I guess the media world, the news world, that considered it sort of like a puff of smoke over the fact that the NFL still got a bunch of situations going on with the injustice and the Colin Kaepernick kneeling and all that stuff like that, or pending lawsuits and stuff like that. So they was like, all right, cool, get them a whole halftime show, light that up, and just cover up all of the, you know, they figuring basically if you give black people something, they'll stop worrying about the other things, and that's how some people felt about it. I was listening to a news interview.
Well, I feel like this. That Super Bowl halftime show was in the makings already, and that part of the NFL is overseen by a black man, Jay-Z. So
But
that
that's
goes to
his name came up first.
so that goes to show what happens when you have people of color in power positions. The other things that's going on with the NFL, as far as Brian Flores and tanking and not giving black people jobs, it ain't black people not on top of those positions to fill them spots. So that only goes to show this. Would you rather Jay-Z not have that position and have a white man and have not a person of color in that position to put the halftime show together, and then you get what you've been getting? Or would you rather it at least start at the halftime show? You got a black man in charge of that. Boom. Then maybe we could get a black GM. Maybe we could get more black coaches when black people get in the position to hire them. The reason why Dr. Dre and them was able to do this Super Bowl halftime show was because a black man was able to put the show together. It was a black man in control of it. So that only shows me that when you put people of color in the position, then the disparity in racial equality goes away. You understand what I'm saying? But 100% of the people, 100% of the people ain't never going to be happy. And 100% of the people don't think about tomorrow. They thinking about the five.
You right.
They thinking about the 5 minutes they live in it. So I think it was a good
I feel
thing.
like, spin off of what Game said, it's a blessing that we have someone on the inside. I guess it would be harder to work it from the outside than the inside.
Right. And it shows the power. It shows the
it.
power of this halftime show showed the power of being on the inside. If we never
hip hop itself, man, Snoop Dogg was crip walking in front of the world.
Smoked the joint right on the stage. But look, it shows the power of being in the position, because if no black people want the jobs, then why would they fucking make moves to put them in the jobs? Jay-Z took the job. He said, I'm gonna start here. Don't think Jay-Z not gonna own a team at some point.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And then what? Who's gonna be the GM? Who's gonna be the head coach? Who's gonna be the vice president of the team? You understand what I'm saying? We gotta get in the door to bring everybody else in. As long as we're not in the door, we get what they give us. And I'm not just speaking on the NFL. I'm talking about in the world. If we're not in the room, we have no say so.
Definitely. Speaking of controversy, what was that you posted in the chat earlier about the cop?
Bridgewater Mall shit.
Yeah,
that was Bridgewater.
Yeah, that was Bridgewater.
Yeah, it was an update on them being the police being under investigation for the way that they handled the situation.
What happened?
Bridgewater. Go ahead, fool.
So basically, they two teams got into a dispute in the mall that turned into a fist fight. The younger kid, the African American kid, was defending another younger, I think a 7th grader that was being bullied by a white 8th grader. Ninth grader. And when they got into the fist altercation, the police were, in the vicinity at the mall where the fight broke out. They literally ran up with the white young man in my watching the video, he was the aggressor. He was the bigger person.
And he was on top, Paul.
And he was on top. He was on top of the African American kid. When the two white cops, so a female and a male, ran in the middle, broke them up. Instead, they ran down. The female cop sat down the white child and went back to help the arresting officer, who immediately attacked who immediately arrested,
detained and handcuffed the
detained,
black
and
kid.
handcuffed the black kid, and they didn't even pay too much attention to the fact that there was two people involved. They just
I seen
immediately arrested the black child.
And look, that's Somerset County, bro. They got a long history of shit like that in Somerset County.
I didn't know that.
Bro, all right, so the show 50 Cent got what's my man, Isaac Wright Jr.?
That's where he was at.
Yeah, that's where he was, that's where his trial and all of that shit was at, Somerset County. And the prosecutor on his case was facing charges for rigging his case, and they was gonna lock his ass up. He killed himself, and the judge ended up going to jail on his case. It's super corruption down there in Somerset County. And that just goes to show how they feel. They ran up on a fight. They gently placed the white boy on a seat, on a couch, and they put their knees in the back of the black man and handcuffed him. The white boy got up during the scuffle with the black kid, and nobody said a word. Like, he wasn't even being detained. He got up, moved around, did whatever he wanted to do. He could have walked off if he wanted to.
Yeah, that's what the video was. The video was them. The news was interviewing the white kid, and the white kid was given an opportunity to say that he was surprised that he wasn't handcuffed, and that he felt as though that they both should have been handcuffed, which doesn't justify his bullying behavior, but at the same time, it was an opportunity for him to paint that picture.
And it acknowledges that he knew he was in the wrong.
Absolutely.
Even if the black kid was in some type of wrong, he knew he was in the wrong too, in conjunction with also.
The handling of the situation by the police officers was definitely wrong, because they treated it as it was one person that, carried out the entire act and caused all of the problems. They didn't even do the proper arrest when you have an altercation using two people, that two people involved in it, and it was just a blatant disregard for proper procedure when you're making an arrest in a situation that from an altercation. And it just was even worse when you didn't treat anybody with the equal
amount of force
to you let the other kid just get away with whatever. You don't know, he probably been stabbing people, but the way that they did it, you'd have never found that out until at the end. But they're both under investigation, and that's just saying that it's being looked into because there was an uproar.
Right, but I don't think that's only on them two officers. I think that's the culture.
Oh, absolutely not.
I think that's the culture of the police department. I think that's the way they're trained. And not only that, let me ask you this, both of y'all. Let me ask y'all this. How does the white kid know he was wrong too, and the police don't?
Well, because for one, there was all those kids that were sitting around each other. There was a diverse setting, even if it was only two black people, whatever the case may be. But they're all aware of the fact that there's difference. The police aren't trained that way. There's criminals, and criminals have a face, and that's how they're trained. And then usually that face is someone that looks like you and I.
Those cops are getting in trouble, right?
They're being investigated. But
they're being investigated.
But guess who investigating? The police. They investigate themselves, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
They try to get the FBI and everybody else involved in that internal investigation.
But internal affairs is exactly that. Internal affairs. They investigate themselves, and they determine if it's wrongdoing, and that's how most shit gets swept under the rug. By the time the FBI get in it, first of all, they got the evidence. The county or the city or wherever the arresting entity is, they already have the evidence. So once they go through it, they deem what's important or not to the investigation. So if it's a tape, if it's on tape that somebody got kicked by an officer, and internal affairs at that PD say, "Oh no, we don't find no wrongdoing." When they hand over the evidence, they don't have to include that. You understand what I'm saying?
You
The
saying
police,
in trouble?
the police should never investigate themselves. It should always be an independent review board when it comes to police use of force cases or police bias cases or anything like that. They should never investigate themselves.
Well, that's to that's the right protect themselves, right?
Of course, that's them protecting their interests. And who else does it? Who else does it benefit for them to investigate themselves? The city, because who pays the lawsuits to these families when the cops be in the wrong? Not the police, not the individual police, not the police department, not the police union. The city pays that shit. If it's state police, state pay that shit. If it's county police, county pay that shit. They are not held accountable financially. They are not held accountable by losing their jobs unless it's something super crazy where it goes crazy nationally, then they'll lose their jobs. They don't just go back to the PD and they be like, "Oh no, you handled this wrong. We did an internal investigation and we feel like that you violated the law." They don't get arrested. None of that shit. Because they investigate themselves.
The system is rigged that way.
Absolutely.
Definitely makes sense.
Absolutely. In some places it's worse than others.
Yeah. But it's another situation that we all live to see, and we'll wait for an outcome and probably be disappointed again. There are no wins in this shit until they cut this shit out,
Hey bro, I really think that shit just gonna go away. I don't even think
it's gonna.
I don't think there's gonna be no big shit behind this. By the time they get to that shit, motherfuckers will be done forgot about it. They're gonna sweep the shit under the rug like they do all the little shit.
The ex-cop that killed Dante Wright got her time reduced by the prosecutors, reduced her time.
By how much?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't go that deep into it.
I'm trying to remember what she got in the first place. Did she?
Was it 5 or something like that?
Nah, she had more than that. I think she had like
12.
No,
Them numbers sound familiar.
The 12 years was Derek Chauvin. He got 12 and a half years. I don't remember exactly how much time she got, but who knows, man. I mean, she's not on the street no more, man. You know what I mean? Once they get in that system, bro, it works for them, bro.
They want to give her 7 years.
What was it? They sentenced her already though?
The prosecutor asked for it less than 2 months after the jury found her guilty. Prosecutor asked for 7 years.
Right. She hasn't been sentenced yet. I think she was facing up 20 or something upwards of that. So you saying the prosecutor is asking the judge for 7 years?
7 years and 2 months.
Man, keep her ass in the refrigerator a little longer than that, man. Hold that motherfucker a little longer than that.
I only asked that.
Second-degree manslaughter.
Some people just got to go to jail. She got to go to jail, man. Fuck that, man.
So
that's how I'm feeling.
Well, look, I think the maximum. I think the minimum on manslaughter is 8 years, I believe, and like it's different to get convicted of manslaughter and murder. Manslaughter is a whole different thing. So manslaughter, 7-8 years is about correct for that. I mean, I think they could go higher than that, but I think that's about right for that. as far as the law go. I think she should be in there longer than that. But
She should
I think
sit in there until her panties turn to stone.
I think that police officers should be punished more harshly than regular citizens.
And the only reason I agree with that is because 95% of the time they know what they're doing. You're trained professionals.
And if they don't know what they're doing, they're supposed to. But that goes back to this. They do 6 weeks in an academy and then they the police. They don't go to law school. They don't know nothing about the law. So how the fuck you supposed to uphold the law and you don't know the law? You know what I'm saying? So, and then they got
anybody could be a cop.
Exactly, but that's why I think they should be punished more harshly because they're in a position of power. You understand what I'm saying? And when you abuse that power, it should be more harsh than a regular citizen. So if the minimum for manslaughter is 8 years, if a police do it, it should be 15 years. Because you're supposed to know
those type of things, and you got those. If you got those guidelines in there, you get more opportunity for them not to do the shit they be doing because they know the repercussions. But if there's no repercussions for anything, and they know they're gonna get off, then they're gonna keep it up.
It would at least serve as a deterrent, especially when you see police officers actually being convicted of the crimes they committed. That would make the next slew of cops be like, you know what? I'm gonna play this shit by the book because they locking us the fuck up now. You know what I'm saying?
Either don't want to be cops.
And I think that's what they're afraid of. I think they're afraid that who's gonna want to be a cop if they could go to jail so easily. But
hell yeah.
But they should be. First of all, I'm not a motherfucker that think we don't need cops. You know what I mean? The police are necessary. Everything they do is not necessary, but police are necessary. So I think that people should want to be cops, but once you become a cop, it's too much incentive to do the wrong thing because they don't get reprimanded for it.
They should have to take a law course, make it a little bit more hard for them to go in there. Because I mean, if a fucking idiot can put on a badge and ride around, and you gotta expect stupidity in the workforce. You gotta give them a harsher way to get in. It can't be that easy.
But that's why they cover themselves with that immunity for the police. That's why they cover themselves with all of those type of things. Because I think that somebody, me personally, I think that somebody enforcing the law that don't know the law that's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
But when they breach my rights, they give them that immunity. You understand what I'm saying? So, he was acting in good faith. No, he violated my rights. There should be a consequence for that. But they make it so hard for them to get consequences that it's like we was talking about the lawyers earlier on the phone, fool. When I said, I think all lawyers, when they become lawyers, they doing it for the right reasons. But once they start being a lawyer, it becomes about, not all lawyers, but some, it becomes about maintaining the lifestyle over actually doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you get your money off of these clients, off of these cases. So if you find a loophole, you got a motherfucker prosecutor that's willing to play ball with you. All right, boom, you give us this amount of guilties and da 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 da. You understand what I'm saying? Then it becomes easier to play ball because you trying to uphold this lifestyle that you started for yourself. And don't let a motherfucker have a gambling problem or a money problem or a credit problem where they'll fucked
do
up.
More bad. Yeah, they'll do more worse shit to stay up.
Exactly.
So they can deal,
Exactly. And even they don't get prosecuted as harshly as regular citizens. The people that's supposed to know better get a slap on the wrist. The people that might not know better, or the people that might know better, but but I ain't gonna say have to, because it's always a choice to commit a crime. But the person that's in a position where if he don't commit this crime, he might not eat. He gets punished harsher than the person that got all of this extra shit and just choose to take something on the side. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think all of that shit play into the same thing, and that's why I think that shit in Somerset County gonna get swept under the rug like they sweep up a bunch of other shit.
You know, there's some shit that I never really paid attention to, especially being a person that been arrested for nonsense or getting pulled over by a cop. When they be like, when you get pulled over and they be like, sit tight or whatever, you already know what that means and shit. Everybody know what sit tight means.
Yeah, they about to run you.
But not only that, they're getting counseled on what to do next. So you know the motherfuckers don't.
The halfway smart ones do.
I mean, well, look, right? All right, you say you got.
No, I get your point. I get your point.
I'm not disputing what you said. I'm just going into the thing. So most of the time they'll go back to the thing, to the car. They'll tell them situation, and then there's somebody telling them, like, you know, it could be anybody. Sometimes we all think, at least I know, I think that he's talking to a dispatcher or something. But most of the time they sitting in that car. They don't know what to do with the situation. So then they get told to do it. And then when they come back to you, they tell you what somebody just told them. And if you don't do it, then they can become an arresting officer. But my thing is, they don't know the shit.
You know what they're supposed to do in that situation? So when they go, like, let's say they pull you over for whatever, and they ask you for your paperwork, they go back to the car. So if he want to search your car, what they supposed to do is they're supposed to call the city attorney, right? And ask is like, all right, so look, I feel like this, I suspect this, I want to search the car.
That's when they got time.
Do I have
time? That's when they got time.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they're supposed to do. They have a city attorney on call all night for those situations.
I'm talking about the immediate pull over. The minute you get pulled over, and they ask you the first couple of questions, whether you respond or not, and they take you. Say if you don't respond, I don't answer questions, they take your ID, tell you to sit tight. They go back to the car, and they're talking to somebody about what to do because they don't fucking know. Unless they've been on the job.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
My thing was that I never really realized that aspect of it until I got older. Like, yo, this motherfucker don't even know why he pulled me over. But he telling this motherfucker what he saw. And they're like, all right, well, then you can say this or say that.
He thought what I did was an infraction, and it might not have been an infraction. They don't.
Right, but he got somebody counseling him on whether he can make it one or not.
Right. So
based on what he saw.
So they not on the thing with dispatch though. When they going through that, they either on the phone with a sergeant. If it's super heavy, it's a captain, and if it's super heavy, it's a city attorney. That's who they be getting they information from.
Right, but the fact that they have that the means to get in contact with somebody is showing you why it should be harder to become a police officer, because you got a bunch of people out there that's supposedly upholding the law that don't even know the law.
That's a fact. And two of the people that I just named up the chain of command might be as oblivious to the law as the motherfucker calling is. Only motherfucker really know the law is the city attorney or the state attorney or whatever attorney they call. But just because a motherfucker is the captain of the police squad police force don't mean he know.
Yeah, absolutely.
The law.
But that's the whole problem.
Exactly. I'm agreeing with you. Yeah,
that's the whole goddamn problem.
The chief could be as dumb as the fucking beat walker.
Yeah. And then they sit there, they just run you up a situation and put you with it. And then they get time after you go to court. They give you a little date so they can get ready, because you don't got nothing. You don't know what to fight. You don't know what to fight, because this motherfucker just do something on you.
Hey,
now you gotta go find a lawyer to do it for you, but he had time to do it for himself. This is crazy, yo.
Hey, bro, they could pull you over, right? Give you a summons for one thing, right? And then you get the court. Then you get the court, and they done threw that summons out because They already looked it over. They know they had nothing on that summons. So they'll change your summons to something else. Like they'll review the body camera or review the report and say, oh nah, well, we could definitely get them on this. So write them a ticket for that. Like they'll write you a ticket after the interaction.
But
just
like how they do traffic court. You go in there.
Yeah.
They pull you over and give you a seatbelt ticket or something expensive, and they pull you over and give you some type of moving violation that you didn't do. But then when you get to court, they said we just gonna drop that. Just take the seatbelt ticket and pay us the $400. And
that's what Game was talking about before we started the shit.
They did that to me with. I had an improper pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went to court about the shit.
You don't do it, but they get you for it, and then that's how they get your money. Drop it down.
I went to court for the shit. Well, the prosecutor, they always on their shit. So what they'll do is they'll downgrade your charge. So they know you don't want the points on your license for the moving violation. So they'll say, all right, well, we'll drop it down to a unsafe operation, which is it's no points. But now an $86 ticket then turned into a $400 ticket, which is really what they want. They want the money. That shit all about the bread.
Mm-hmm.
That's all about the bread.
They work with you. Amazingly, they just work with you.
Yeah, but they're not working with you.
No, they're not working with you.
They working you.
I know they're not working with you. That's why I said it's amazing how you get in court, they want to work with you.
Yeah, they be working you. That's real shit, man. They definitely do that. How the fuck is the lesser ticket more expensive? It's designed. Right. It's designed that way. It's they know what they doing.
But for them to even break down into to subjects of a moving violation is a moving violation. If that's what you pulled me over for, when the fuck did you get to the point where it's because it's money that they'll sit there and come up with a way to break you out of? They're giving you a pass on the law you broke to get the money.
And this is where they go wrong at. Well, this is what I know is wrong, but motherfuckers don't report it because they feel like
getting off.
They feel like they're getting off. Yeah, they feel like they're getting a favor. So, all right, I got pulled over one time. I was on Berkeley. I turned into a driveway to make a K turn instead of making a U-turn, right?
Right.
So when I did that, the police pulled me over, told me it was illegal for me to make that turn I made. Mm. But he said, I'm not going to give you that. I'm going to give you a seatbelt ticket. Now, that's against the law.
Yeah, it is.
That's against the law.
It is.
Is it cool that we didn't do?
They gave me a seatbelt ticket, and I had my seatbelt on. They gave me a seatbelt ticket. But he pulled me over for making the K turn. But he was supposedly doing me a solid. Well, I took it as a solid.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna give me the moving violation.
Out of nothing. Yeah,
you gonna give me the seatbelt ticket. I'll take the $45 ticket. Fuck it. But if I could prove that I had my seatbelt on, that's against the law.
You fight it. Yeah, but then you fight it. But all right, so the bigger question is it cool that we accept the fact that they give us these breaks?
It depends on
where you at in your life.
It depend on.
You might want to hear the other end of it.
Go ahead.
Make that before you say that part.
Go ahead.
I know what you're gonna say. Is it cool that we accept the breaks we get when we go to court, but don't accept when they break the law and take us in?
Well, shit. I think they breaking the law both ways.
They are. They are.
Right. And I think it's
but
wrong.
When it's a benefit to us, when it's a benefit to someone, not us, someone.
Hey, bro, if the bank robber come out the bank with a big bag of money and he hand you a stack of it, you gonna take the fucking favor, nigga, and you gonna go. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be like, oh, I don't want it. That's bank robbed money.
But then we get mad when we get called an accomplice, and then we go to jail. And they can't catch him; they catch me. Like, how do you deal with the two? It's
Nah,
basically this. If the law is the law. If you treat the small things, the small infractions, differently than you treat the big infractions, then you're already dealing with a broken system.
no,
Period.
I agree with
Because
that 100%.
they'll manipulate it any way that they need to manipulate it so that they could benefit from, even if you didn't do nothing. But when you go in there, you did something, and they're about to give you 100 years because they don't think that what you're in there for, that 10 years ain't enough. We want them to have more than 10 years. What can we do to move these things around to give them 100
Oh
years?
yeah, no, that
You feel
I
what I'm
agree
saying?
with you. I agree with you 100%. That shit foul. That shit foul. Either way, it's just that one benefits you and one don't, and that's the difference in the reaction to it. I agree with what you're
But
saying though. They
if
both
you allow one, you're
exactly.
supposed to allow it all, right? Because I
Well,
mean,
you
it's
allow it
still
when
it's all wrong anyway.
you allow it when it works for you. You don't allow it when it don't.
Yeah, I ain't gonna dispute the common sense of the
Yeah,
human being. I'm just
well,
saying
I mean, that's
we can't
basically
look
what it
at it.
boiled down to.
We
You're
can't
not gonna
accept.
you're not gonna
We
go
can't
report.
accept a bunch of stuff from one entity, the police. We can't allow them to have power on both spectrums of the law because they're breaking it and they're enforcing it, so called.
No, agree. But like I said, I'm not gonna argue with the $45 ticket over the $100 and something dollar ticket
Well,
with
yeah,
points. I ain't gonna argue with it. But if I,
yeah.
but
Mama
if,
ain't
but
raised
if,
no fool.
but if I get to court and you tell me that you lock me up and you tell them something wrong on that report, we not about to do that. You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's just the nature of humans, bro. That's a good conversation, though.
that's why they gotta put something on that schooling instead of letting people run to the police academy, which ain't nothing but what they used to call that shit. Motherfuckers used to go
It's
to
gonna it's gonna
what's
cost
that?
more. It's gonna
What was that
cost.
organization? The Boys and Girls Club or some shit like that.
It costs them more money to teach them the law than it costs them to pay them to enforce the law.
Oh shit! Not when you're paying the millions of dollars of lawsuits for the negligence.
It's
You
cheaper to
pay it
send them.
back.
It's cheaper to send them to school for 6 weeks. It's over 2 years, bro. I think they
Well,
should
we
at
fighting
least
the
have.
wrong fight.
I
I
think
think
they
we
should.
fighting the
I
Y'all
wrong
think they should
fighting
fight.
have.
debates tonight.
I think they should have at
Huh?
least. I think they should have
Good
at least
topic.
2 years. I think they should have at least 2 years of constitutional law before they could be a cop. But we'll never get that because it costs too much.
Yeah, but the
They'd
training
rather,
is important. That would make it better.
yeah, they
For
would
their
rather.
mind, for their
It's
mind.
cheaper. It's
It should be
cheaper
in the
for them.
reform plans.
It's cheaper for them to create laws to protect the police from their bullshit than it is to correct them from their bullshit. It's cheaper. Word up. And
Yeah, no, that's fact.
this conversation could go on all
But
motherfucking night.
hell yeah.
You know what I mean? This was definitely a good one, man. But you know what I mean? We're gonna wind it down, man. We coming to the end of this episode, man. I appreciate y'all brothers, man. Y'all always get a good insight. B, you got something for the people?
No, I'm just glad to be here and can't wait to drop some new podcasts the way we're doing it now.
Word.
I
I
mean,
agree with that.
I had a
Yeah.
long day.
Raise the
I'm
bar,
hungry.
baby.
Y'all see me snacking on here because that's me. I ain't eat all day. That's my thing
Well,
now. I got to buy
I
special
mean,
snacks just for the podcast. But the only difference was I got it up so fast. I ain't have a chance to bring them in here with me. But you know,
Barry got just as many jobs as I got.
6 a.m. to 6 a.m. Hey,
man.
You
fool,
won't
what,
sleep.
you got something for the people, fool?
Yeah. Y'all check out that Bet on Black. Bet on Black is my latest project we got out. We still
Streaming
doing work
everywhere.
on streaming
Yes,
on
sir.
all major streaming sites, Apple Music. You can check me out on Instagram at Pappy Black. I got a lot of things going on there as far as to promote the album, and we're gonna do some video work soon. And you know, just staying busy, man, staying everywhere. Some people say I can't sit down. It's kind of impossible when you want to do a million things to have a million things. But for the most part, man, I just want to say shout out to everybody who watched the podcast, man. I appreciate you. And I love the insight when y'all hit me up, man. But put that shit in the comments, man. Let the people see it so they can go ahead and comment with
Yeah.
you. because you know, if you're being a part of the podcast, anything that anybody got to say on it, you entitled to an opinion too, and you can put it down in the comments, man, and then we can talk about it because some of the stuff that we might not get into, we can get from y'all, and we would definitely shout y'all out because that's how we get down, you know.
We need to call up some fans and bring them in on the Zoom, some female fans.
We gotta be careful, B. They be in there, and there'll be somebody in the background ain't got no clothes on, so they ain't gonna be ready. They ain't gonna be ready for that real. If we
gotta get a professional there.
I'm about to
gotta get a
you know
professional.
That might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, that'll be the viral moment. Well, yeah, but look, but yeah, to set it off, man. I'm working on whatever they working on, and you know what I mean. It's always a blessing to entertain y'all. This episode has been sponsored and powered by Genco. We're gonna catch y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.
One.
This a smoke session. I keep rolling, man. Ain't no stressing. I keep going, man.